In the age of the internet, a celebrity death hoax happens almost every other day, but some rumors and conspiracy theories never seem to die. Hi, I'm Adam Bozarth. Welcome back to What's Trending. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Yes, celebrities of all kinds fall victim to the occasional death hoax. Celebrities such as Nicolas Cage, Jeff Goldblum, Betty White, and even Will Smith have all been reported dead as part of some kind of hoax. And if you think that celebrity death hoaxes are some sort of new thing because we have the internet and there's fake news, well, it happened back in the 1960s to Paul McCartney. Known as the Paul is Dead hoax, this urban legend began in 1969, suggesting that Paul McCartney had died 3 years ago in 1966 and was replaced with a look-alike. But how did a rumor like this start? A rumor had circulated for years that Paul was in a fatal car crash, though he was working on the Beatles' album Abbey Road. Russ Gibb, a DJ from WKNR in Detroit, got a late-night call on the air where the listener explained that if you played the White Album backwards, there were hidden messages. Oh shit, what kind of hidden messages? If you listen to John Lennon's Revolution No. 9 in reverse, it seems to say, "Turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man." Also, if you play John Lennon's mumbling at the end of I'm So Tired, it sounds like, "Paul is a dead man. Miss him, miss him, miss him." I mean, the rumors were very pervasive. So much so that one of America's most popular morning DJs devoted an hour to the evidence that Paul McCartney was actually dead. This is when the Beatles actually had to issue a press release assuring everybody that Paul McCartney was still alive. The next week, Paul was on the cover of Life magazine, ironically with the headline, "Paul is still with us." One of the big parts of the Paul is dead conspiracy theory is that Paul was actually replaced with a look-alike. Now, online conspiracy theorists think that they've discovered the same thing has happened to Avril Lavigne. According to the rumor, the real Avril Lavigne hung herself in 2003 and was replaced by a look-alike named Melissa Vandella. The conspiracy says that Avril died after completing her second album, but rather than announcing her death, the record company chose to replace her. I mean, it totally makes sense if you have no idea what the police are for. As proof of the switch, conspiracy theorists point to Avril's change of style from punk to pop. They also compare blurry old photographs of Avril, claiming her birthmarks don't match anymore. And as for the woman who stepped into Avril Lavigne's shoes, there's no evidence that a woman named Melissa Vandella ever existed in the first place. But some people believe the same thing happened to Miley Cyrus. According to some online sources, the reason for Miley's sudden change in persona happened because she was killed and replaced by a lookalike in 2010. I mean, if the lookalike is going to have a completely different sound and persona than the person they're replacing, why replace them? I mean, there's even a rumor that Beyonce has been replaced by a clone of Beyonce. Comparing photos from before and after the year 2000, some conspiracy theorists think that Beyonce was replaced with a clone of herself that is a, quote, high-degree masonry witch. I think she means mason witch, not a masonry witch. A masonry witch would be like a witch made out of bricks. You see, Beyonce, along with her husband Jay-Z, have long been rumored to be members of elite secret societies such as the Illuminati and the Freemasons. But what I love about this conspiracy theory is that even crackpot conspiracy theorists have to accept that the only person who could replace Beyonce is Beyonce. And then there are celebrities that people refuse to believe are actually dead. One star who people are expecting to see return from the grave one day is Tupac Shakur. After Tupac's tragic death in 1996, fans thought that they were spotting clues in his tracks that Tupac had faked his death. Theorists claim that Tupac took his nickname Machiavelli from famed Italian writer Machiavelli, who famously wrote about faking one's death to fool your enemies. And then there's this photo of Tupac and Suge Knight sitting in the car Tupac died in, and it's raised some suspicions because it's dated September 8th, the day after Tupac was shot. So the shooting is a big cover-up, but why? Some people believe that Tupac was even recruited by the CIA, which makes sense if you've never heard of the CIA. It's always the CIA. So many people have asked the CIA if they know where Tupac is that they had to respond on Twitter. No, we don't know where Tupac is. And though the rumors persist that Tupac is in hiding, his murder is still unsolved. One comedian was so well known for pulling hoaxes, everyone assumed that his death was a hoax too. Andy Kaufman was known for his oddball comedy and performance art that often involved pranking the unsuspecting public. Kaufman's life story was brought to life by Jim Carrey in the movie Man on the Moon. As an example of one of his hoaxes, Kaufman and his comedy partner Bob Zmuda would often take turns portraying Tony Clifton, a character that the pair had made up. Kaufman also started a fake feud with wrestler Jerry the King Lawler that culminated in a staged attack on Late Night with David Letterman that even Letterman didn't know was going to happen. In 1984, at the age of 35, Andy Kaufman died of lung cancer. And a lot of people said, yeah, right. Rumors that Kaufman is still alive still spread over 30 years after his death, mostly started by Bob Zmuda and Andy's brother Michael Kaufman. But so far, Andy has failed to show up. So what are your favorite celebrity conspiracy theories? Which one should we cover next? Let us know in the comment section below.